Cheers and welcome my friends, I'm Horath and we are playing Tyranny as a noble mage on hard difficulty. Welcome back! Behold, the quartet of Mexican magical mayhem! I did quite a bit of work behind the scenes. I think I spent maybe 2 hours sort of sleeping, buying new stuff, selling off all my things. I'm broke now. I'm totally broke. I only have 96 copper rings. I completely basically sold everything that we didn't absolutely need. But we're pretty well equipped, so all my things are now masterwork. I upgraded the Hierarch's robes to masterwork level. I upgraded this one to masterwork level. And I took the mirrored stompers for myself, upgraded them to masterwork level. It's gonna push up my recovery a little bit, but it's gonna make me good amount more survivable, having 7 armor. And so that's all masterwork. I took Dauntless from Drak, but I kept my Harbinger Wings shield that reduces recovery time and gives me increased movement speed. I upgraded the Staff of Hours to masterwork, so that's pretty important. His staff was already masterwork, I think. I gave him a little bit of a new armor. He's now wearing the Scarlet Chorus leather armor, letting out his wild side, Lantry. Ebb is the same. She also has the same armor as Lantry. I haven't been able to upgrade her that much. And then I've upgraded Sirin quite a bit. So I've upgraded her mask to masterwork, which actually gives a surprising amount of armor. 5 armor, that's pretty good. I gave her these, the Sensor's Grip, so that she can set people aflame if she hits critically with her weapon. Her staff is upgraded to the max Discordant Melody, so it does a crap ton of damage now. I think it does, yeah, not quite as much damage as mine. Ebb's staff I also upgraded. That is also masterwork now, the Bane Touch staff. That has a crap ton of DPS, 8.63. So that is the most damaging staff that we have. But I mainly have that for her, for the plus 15 performance skill. And then I gave her the Titan's Hoof, because that increases her might if she uses it. And has all kinds of good things, but mainly because it's a one-handed weapon. It doesn't really push up her recovery time that much, just a second, but she's gonna be a good amount stronger. I also gave her Barrick's Shield, the Faithful Promise, just so that she can take a beating if she really has to. Each of these guys sort of does have a second weapon set that can be used in a pinch. I mean, Lantry's melee weapon is sort of shitty. Could actually give him the, did I? No, I didn't keep that one. Okay, yeah, forget it. That's not a thing. I should maybe upgrade the Quill if I come into some money again. That would be good. And yeah, I do have the Dauntless, which actually reduces my recovery time a bit. But the good thing is upgrading these.
Just hold on to this.
Upgrading these things actually does reduce recovery time on them at least slightly, by 0.1 seconds. And I've given Sirin the Barbed Aubergine with the Thorns, so when she gets hit, the enemy takes damage in a range of 6 meters. So that's pretty nice. That is also masterwork. I've given her the Control Lightning thing, and I've taken that one from Barrick, the 1% health regeneration. So now we have 4 mages all alone in the world. It's gonna be great. I still have 30 iron ingots stored, so if this really shouldn't work out, then I just try to get some more money and bring Barrick back into the fray. But I sort of like the setup that we have going currently. It should work. It should work. I hope so. What does that do? Oh, right. Well, what I want to do is we're gonna make everyone into my colors. I'm black on black. We're gonna be black now. Yeah, it's nice that you can actually... Yeah, come on, not cancel. It's nice that you can do that. And Sirin... Yeah, like that. Do that. Okay then. Looks good. I'm happy. We're gonna save this. We're gonna leave the forge. Sadly, I don't have anything in terms of money or resources that would allow me to forge some more stuff. What I saw, apart from the Alchemist gloves that I would like to have, is we had the Enchanted Cloth Slippers for Sirin. That's going to give her 1 finesse and 10% magic defense. That's pretty nifty, I'd say, but I can't really get there, at least not at the moment. Yeah. For the Nightwalker boots, we would need the Hound's Hide Mantle. I think we might get that in the Stone Sea. Sentinel looks actually pretty nice. That gives plus 5% health while has wounds every 6 seconds. So if you actually do take a real amount of damage and take a wound, then you'll have a continual regeneration, which is very interesting. But yeah, we really don't need that because we're sorcerers. I do hope that with all the interruption spells and all that, we'll be able to just ignore that, basically. Petrify all the enemies, or stasis all the enemies, and kill them in the meantime. That is my plan, very much. One thing that I wanted to do, I haven't interacted with that thing in a while. Your influence spans even further, and you can almost hear the whispers of 1,000 voices echoing through the resonator. If you concentrate, it would appear you can begin the same trance that showed you glimpses of the previous spire. Okay, let's have a look. Maybe we can find a way to get into the other spires. Once more you touch the sculpture, and once more your mind is flooded with sensation, this time of your senses leaving your body and floating up, higher even than the mountain spire, until all of Terratus is beneath your feet. From high above you see the mystic currents moving about Terratus, billowing clouds of every color that churn about the realms. Even from this far away a vantage point, the cyclones and currents of magic fill you with dread and foreboding. I'm gonna send my senses toward the mystic currents. As you near the mystic currents, you hear inchoate voices, commands, proclamations, the stuff of edicts. All across Terratus, the edicts of Kairos, some centuries old, still live on, their arcane signatures bright as the midday sun, seemingly stronger than the day they were proclaimed. As your senses float away from the arcane turbulence, you are struck by the fact that land untouched by edicts appears to be in the minority. Even lands long ago conquered by Kairos are still haunted by edicts. Whether because they still linger from the olden days of conquest, or if they were cast more recently to suppress rebellion, your senses cannot glean. Okay, I'm gonna step away then. That's interesting. Let's try again. Maybe we can get the other thing. Gonna touch the resonator. Your finger touches the stone of the resonator and you're almost instantly assaulted with a rhythmic baritone thud and the sound of rushing fluids. By the third beat, the sound is unmistakably your pulse. And as your heart quickens at this realization, so does the sound. A mystic jolt runs from your finger through your spine. And in that instant, you gain an intuition of the sculpture, a sense that it stands listening, awaiting your commands. Show me more. Sizzling heat races down your arm, and your feet feel for the moment to be hovering just above the stone floor of the spire. The sensation is oddly familiar, harkening back to the moment you broke Kairos' edict of execution. As this old pain ripples through your body, the waves of pain extend beyond the length, width, and breadth of your form, until the sensation is running down the spire, its masonry an extension of your spine. Inflict woe and ruination on my enemies? Yeah, maybe. You issue your command, but the spire is either not listening or simply not responding. Okay. Maybe another time. Okay, I can't do any more, but it's still very interesting. Now let's finally get back into the action. I don't think I'm missing anything here now. Okay, so let's go to Jagged Moor Shrine. We'll meet up with the disfavored soldiers, with the disfavored operatives, see what we can do. It's gonna be interesting to play an all mages group. Yeah, they are the disfavored. Save it. I'm gonna plunder before I speak with people. That's just how I roll. Okay, there's a aquamarine. Nice. So we actually will be able to do something more in terms of crafting soon. The Stone Sea environment is harsh and unforgiving. Arid plant life is about all that can survive in these parts. Oh, there's another potion. And there are more disfavored. Are you not gonna talk to me? Okay then, that's rude, but oh well. There's a strange formation. I can learn the spell Symbol of Stone. Okay, I just gained stone knowledge. Yeah, I guess that's fine. Save it. There are the two operatives, I guess. We have a lot of dead people here. What's that one? Scarlet Notebook. I think we read that one already. It's just some loot that we can sell. So that's fine. Some iron ingots, that's nice. And a potion of protection. I take it. There's not much to see over here. Aged planks of wood and withered rope are the only things keeping travelers alive while crossing the great chasms of the Stone Sea. And it's shaking all the time. That's really interesting. Okay, so there's something where we can travel. No, guys, come on.
Will do.
I mean all of you. Okay, that's that. It's really a very small piece of map. Let's see what's down there.
Can't do that.
Nothing really.
Sorry, I can't.
Okay then. That doesn't really open anything else up. Okay, let's just see what the disfavored people have to say. Come on, guys. Chop, chop, chop. So, hello. Fatebinder. The soldier salutes you with the smack of a meaty fist on bronzed armor. Lieutenant Cadis, at your service, sir. He jerks a thumb, his gauntlet caked with dust and blood, toward the mountain of a man behind him. Won't get him to admit it, but Radix is too. That's Commander Ironcore to you, baby brother. And you as well, Fatebinder. The elite Iron Guard casts a steely glance in your direction without offering you a salute. Forgive me if I do not have time to entertain idle pleasantries. We're on a campaign on the highest importance. I'm sure you understand. Cadis clears his throat with a sound that's half hacking, half deep guffaw. He slouches in lazy attention, a hand resting comfortably on the hilt of his broadsword. I humbly apologize for the both of us, but if you don't mind me asking, what's brought you to these parts, sir? He tips his head to indicate the stone expanse behind him. Sure, she looks pretty, but don't let those big peaks fool you. The land's a tangle of danger. Okay, I could actually just kill these two. Brief me on the Chorus troops' movement throughout the region. Shit, if there aren't more of them than maggots out there. Can't go 2 feet without needing to gouge someone's entrails out. The soldier rubs at the pommel of his sword, edgy. But most of them have swarmed Halfgate, looking for warm bodies. Crude as my brother is, I agree with his assessment. The Chorus are rather semblant to maggots. Singly inconsequential yet annoying numerous. Both squish beneath stones of adequate acceleration and mass. He taps his foot in a slow but eager rhythm on the ground, but then stops, settling himself once more into stillness. However, more pressing matters have need of my attention presently. Even Radix likes killing Chorus screamers, but he can't stray from the parameters of his post, and I can't stray from him. Okay, yeah, I don't really have a problem with going to the Scarlet Chorus and hurting them. I'm not really their errand boy, though. Your report has been sufficiently informative. I'll be sure to avoid the forces going forward. That also sounds rather cowardly, though. Send me to strike at the heart of the population and will make the disfavored proud. Going to massacre the whole damn slew? The lieutenant rubs at the edge of his faceplate, head tipped with awe. I think you just stole my heart, sir. Give them my iron-bladed regards. As good as done. Can't wait for the death toll and the destruction missive reports. How can I be of service? How are these parts, and how are they dangerous? Stonestalkers call this place Jagged Moor Shrine. Yeah, okay. On account of the crystal formations. If the beastmen don't kill you, the constant quakes and steep drop-offs damn well will. Come on! The quakes are of little consequence to an Earthshaker, baby brother. It's the foul beast we must contend most with. And why you're here. Not getting along with the locals? Which ones? The starving simpletons of Halfgate who mule their grievances against us to the chorus? Or the beasts who nightly crawl the cliffside seeking to flay us alive? What's the problem of the people of Halfgate with the Earthshakers? At times the earth remits me vibrations of their murmurings. The cretins unilaterally blame us for the region's continued seismic activity, though they are not entirely wrong. Why is the beast tribe trying to kill you? Did you know they first welcomed my Earthshakers into this land? They do tend to hate the disfavored though, don't they, baby brother? Damn right they do, but rather than agitated, his voice sounds mirthful from behind his mask, cocky, yet easygoing. We put the fear of Ash in them. I actually do like these two. At least they are not quite, at least they don't have quite as big a stick up their ass compared to the other disfavored. The Ironguard presses 2 fingers to his temple, suppressing a sigh. Regardless of the means, the beasts have commenced attacking us, Earthshaker and soldier akin. They had hoped to draw on our common ground as mages of the land, but after first accepting us, they savagely accused us as trespassers and stealers of some nonsensical substance they call Elder Teeth. What exactly are these? It's what the beastmen call Azurolith. They call them such because of their teeth-like formations, and the elders in their tribe use them. He shrugs at their odd reasoning. We know that they have mystical properties such as amplification of magic, and we're still studying their uses. Kern himself was fascinated by them. Tell me about the Azurolith formations in this region. The locals call them Elder Teeth. We've been researching their properties, which seem to amplify magic somehow. Kern was interested in them and sought to better understand them before his untimely demise. He looks off in the distance as though hoping to catch a glimpse of his master. Were these under direct command of Kern? Maybe. Beastmen consider this place to be a sort of shrine? Something about big elder teeth and dead ancestors have made it sacred ground to them. Shit if I know, or care. The Shakers say it's a place with concentrated magic, and that's about as far as I understood it. Ask him about military stratagem, and he'll light up like a spark of sulfur, but when it comes to alchemy and the arcane, his understanding is fundamental at best. So we are quite different. The sizable protrusions of Azurolith exude a temporal resonance on par with a geoentropic elucidation of the purest regularity. So as one could imagine, the area is of particular value in the study of Earth Arcanum and is likely, as well, appealing to those creatures who hold some attunement to the land. Yeah, alright. Of course. The mountainous man rumbles a deep laugh and clasps you hard on the back. It's refreshing to speak with one of similar understanding, considering my company of the last several weeks. Okay, let's speak of something else, though. The Earthshakers are the arcane arm of Ash's military, correct? An astute observation. Our guild has devoted ourselves to the study of Earth Arcanum, and as such, we are the disciples of Kern were the disciples of Kern before his unfortunate end. As his prime and closest pupil, it has fallen to me to inherit Kern's legacy. Ah! He sweeps a brief, stiff salute. I'm Radix Ironcore, mover of mountains, Iron Guard to Ash, and second master of the Earthshakers. Interesting. That's why they're not so completely disfavored. That's why they're a bit freer. And he's not at all full of himself. Cadus laughs good-naturedly. You're both an Earthshaker and an Iron Guard? How did that come to pass? It was not by choice, I can assure you. I merely desired to study under Kern's tutelage, but after we pledged our allegiance to Ash, the position was more or less forced upon me. He looks down for a moment before catching himself slumping. Not that I could resent the position bestowed upon me by the general himself. Though I am not one for rank and file, as Kern's protege, clearly I was the ideal selection. Kern, isn't that the Archon who rebelled against Kairos? Fatebinder Kaleo cast the Edict of Stone in 430 in order to kill him. Precisely, yes. During our primary campaign to conquer Azure, Kern broke completely from Ash's command, and shortly thereafter Fatebinder Kaleo cast the Edict of his execution. The Iron Guard widens and resettles his stance, arms clasped stiffly behind his back. While I devoted myself as Kern's apprentice for many years, rest assured that as the inheritor of the Earthshakers Guild, I remain steadfast in my service to the disfavored. Kairos' demand for loyalty is absolute. This I understand well. The Iron Guard taps the heel of his boot against the ground, annoyed, causing pebbles to shake and jump in the near distance around him. What I can neither understand nor forgive is why he would choose such filthy savages over his own disciples. By savages, you mean the beastmen? Quite assuredly. For Kern to risk the entire guild on account of such primitive beasts, it is wholly contemptible. Not only did he bring ruin on himself, but he very nearly rained the same on us. Okay. It would be interesting to go that route during the conquest. Are you two related? That's right, sir. We're brothers born, if not bred. He slaps Radix heartily on the back, the iron underside of his gauntlet resounding like the clang of a funeral bell. We share a mother, much to Radix's regret. My brother, impetuous as he is, likes to rely on brawn and chance as he marches through life. I, however, being elder and of higher intellect, am fortuitous enough to have inherited the call of the land. He says that, but I'll be the one keeping his head from getting lopped off when we're attacked next. You were raised separate from one another? It's not like he was sent away. On account of him being 12 years older and annoyingly apt with magic, he left for Tortulus to study under Kern. Cadus smacks his brother heartily on the back. Can't say I miss him much. You ever been buried alive, sir? Ah, how long ago. I do remember. Mother was quite proud. Not of that incident. She was unreasonably furious, even though I left you an airhole. He taps the toe of his boot on the ground. Thoughts likely as tremorous as the earth around him. It was a great honor to study under an Archon. You have two separate fathers. Who were they? Don't know. The lieutenant shrugs. But it doesn't rightly matter, does it? If it were just our father, this one could have been rid of me. But you can't deny the lineage of the womb, nor a woman's inheritance. Even if I did choose the front lines over Radix's stodgy guild. That's right. For better or worse, we're indisputably bound by blood. Though you wouldn't know it, as Cadus exhibits only the most minuscule of mother's traits. What was it like studying under Kern? Excruciatingly arduous, yet edifying. Do you want me to claim he was like a doting father? I cannot. He was ruthless when he needed to be, and above all, brilliant. He was an Archon, and a powerful one at that. Oh, that's Sirin. If you want access to those heights of power, you have to be dedicated. If you aren't willing to train, you aren't worthy to wield that power. Okay. Tortulus, that's in the north, right? Obviously. I picture him saying that like Severus Snape in the Harry Potter movies. Despite my master's increasingly irritational inclinations in his age, Kern was a northerner, same as you and I. The Iron Guard settles his stance, peering silently toward the horizon for a moment before he continues to speak. Tortulus is the longest continental mountain range in the Northern Empire. Naturally, it was upon its highest peak that Kern established the Earthshaker Guild and where painstakingly accumulated the potential of my abilities. Okay, very interesting. What are you and your squad doing stationed in the middle of the Stone Sea? Weeks into the escort op of fire and damnation. I'd say I got the details as punishment. But the general claims he chose me on account of this jerk being my kin. He thinks Radix will listen to me when I tell him he's about to step off a cliff. As if that would happen. He waves a dismissive hand. My brother is a dreamer, though his fantasies are often insipid and ill-devised. We are en route to Howling Rock to bolster our fort, and the Earthshakers protecting Kern's remains. Once a fertile swath of farmland, Howling Rock, as the Stonestalkers took to calling it, is now a precipitous stretch of craggy peaks and bluffs that roars with the cries of a slowly dying Archon. Creepy. On account of you, I'm skinning beastmen and digging rock spurs from my boots instead of sacking Stellarwood. Cadis levels at the Iron Guard. If I was going to dream for anything, it would be about leaving this wretched shithole realm behind. Okay. So, Ash has sent me to assist with your efforts to solidify our hold in the Stone Sea. So, you do come with a purpose. The Iron Guard turns the crushing weight of his attention on you. One strengthened by both magic and the austerity of his resolve. After a moment, the severity of his scrutiny slowly crumbles, and he nods as if to an unspoken decision. I'd be a fool to turn down the aid of a Fatebinder, especially one so renowned. I will accept any assistance I can acquire in uniting with my Earthshakers at Howling Rock, and defending the fort they have erected around Kern's remains. I think that is the guy that came too late when we wanted to take Vendrian's well. I think he chose not to come. That's actually kind of a stupid idea, not to do that. Not to come when your liege lord calls you. Okay. What the commander is trying to say is, we're beholden to have you. Cadis grunts, shooting his brother a pointed look. Getting to Howling Rock is the easy part, only it hasn't been that easy. We've been waylaid with chorus forces and beasts that'll rend you limb from limb sooner than you can blink. They're bloodthirsty sons of curs, mark my words. What can you tell me about Kern's demise? Only that I've heard he's not dead yet. And I mean that. You can hear him at night, shuddering and moaning like the wind through the mountains. He shifts and resettles the weight of his heavy suit. The Shakers could tell you best where they've been treating him. Keeping him alive. It's experimental, not restorative. I assure you, as I've already assured Ash, it's for examination and learning purposes only. There's yet much knowledge and power to be gleaned from our forebearer. I know we can't do anything to save him, but what you're doing is reprehensible. Put him out of his misery. Stop this meaningless torture. I tend to agree with her. And lose a lifespan of advancement? Don't be absurd. Radix taps the heel of his boot against the ground, annoyed. Kern himself would have wished for this for us, were he able. Why do you think Kern betrayed his orders? The disfavored officer scrubs a hand over the nape of his neck, hesitant to answer. Why would anyone? He shrugs. The world's full of vices to tempt a soldier. Booze, brothels, betting. I figure earth magic must be a damn mire of a drug to tempt an Archon from duty. Guess they aren't so inhuman after all. We've assembled a base of operations surrounding Kern's remains. Obviously. Again, obviously. Securing Kern was our first priority. You think we'd let these savages, or worse, the Chorus, get their hands on him? I'll cut us a path to Howling Rock regardless of who stands in our way. That's what I like to hear, sir. Deftly, he draws his sword and crouching carves a basic map into the silt-covered ground. Fastest route is through Stone Down Gorge. The territory of Stone Down is Dangerous Gorge, recently claimed by the Stonestalkers following the Edict of Stone's casting. Of course, the area is swarming with chorus and beasts alike. Carve us a path and we'll follow close on your heels. He tips his hat to you in good luck. Get us there in one piece, and I'll nail my broadsword in your honor. I need to see to some preparations first. Do I really? I wonder. Understood, I'll be on my way. Can't thank you enough, sir. You don't know the world of difference this makes. We'll prep for heading out. Cadis pounds a fist to his chest in farewell. Holler if you need us, but don't count on us to save your ass. Our duty is to protect the Shakers, so we'll be trailing a ways behind. Fatebinder, should you arrive before us, which I am almost assured that you will, you'll need this code. The sigil of Kern's forgotten name to gain entry into the compound. Pay attention, for it is quite an intricate sigil. The master of the Earthshaker Guild calmly demonstrates the sigil by twisting and drawing his fingers through the air. Though it appears to any witness to be the motion of a spell, he lends no magic to the mark, deceptively using it as a coded communication instead. Show it to the guards, and they will know that you're one of us. How very clever. A name only the true disciples would understand and appreciate. Ebb nods with a beaming smile. Not only is it intricate, but it's also quite unusual. What's the meaning behind the sigil? It's a name all but we have forgotten. It's the only remainder, a single identifier of Kern's existence from when he lived wild and free in the mountains of Totalus, during the time of his youth, years before he pledged himself as an Archon to our overlord. Fascinating. Most of what we know of Kern down here relates to him as the Archon of Stone. His powers, his size, those sorts of things. Lantry lets out a long sigh, his quill continuing to record Radix's words and gestures. But as for Kern, the human being, we know so little, and I think the Earthshakers may have been the only ones to come close to knowing him. Gonna practice it. He tilts his head, impressed. That is good. Adjust this finger like so on the down curve. Yes, precisely. You live up to your reputation, Fatebinder. Okay, farewell. Right, so we got our work cut out for us. We have to do some chorus disposal, which means basically removing all the Scarlet Chorus people from Halfgate. That's a thing. Trial of Archons is still ongoing. And carving the path. Cadis and Radix have asked you to begin making a path to the disfavored through the Stone Sea, beginning with Stone Down. It's the home of the beastmen of the Stonestalker tribe. All of them must die. Alright, well, yeah, I guess genocide is my specialty now. If you think that this favored are sort of friendlier than the Scarlet Chorus at first, if you follow their path, you really see that they are not really friendly at all. They're just different. They're imposing their order with the same ruthlessness that the Chorus imposes their chaos. So that's actually quite interesting. I like that they have been really following through on this. The writers, I mean. Well, yeah, I think I'm going to end it here. If you enjoyed the episode, please leave a like. If you didn't, tell me why in the comments so I can improve. And if you want to see more of the series in the future, please consider subscribing to the channel. I do hope that you join me next time when we will be going. I think we'll first go to the Scarlet Chorus in Halfgate, kill all those guys, and then we'll go down to Stone Down Gorge. The destroyed and half-buried buildings embedded in this gorge are the last remnants of one of Azur's former cities. It has since been taken over by the Stonestalkers, a tribe of beastmen that aggressively guard their claimed territory. Stone Down Gorge connects to one of the few traversable routes leading north, making it a vital connection point in the Stone Sea. Okay, so that's something to consider. But yeah, I hope you join me next time. Bye bye.